Welcome to the Weekly Poll. I'm Benny, one of your many hosts here. I read you comic books over on my channel, Comic Story, and Dramatically, where I pretend I can do voices, but I'm really bad at it, and I have about 3 that I can actually do. We have Sal from Comic Pop. He discusses your favorite comic books all the time, telling them to 2 people who don't understand comic books, which has now led to him getting even more obscure comic books to tell them about.
Not bad.
We have Rob, who explains your favorite comic books and everything else in your life. We're trying to get Rob to explain the weird side of YouTube. He is currently denying that job.
That's not going to happen. Nope.
And we have our special guest co-host. I don't really know where you fall into, but you come into a lot of the shows, so we're going to call you co-host, Jason Inman of the Jawin channel and DC All Access and the Kickstarter Jupiter Jet. Would you like to fill in the new viewers about your Kickstarter, Jason?
Sure, yeah. Our Kickstarter is at JupiterJetComic.com. It is a 5-issue comic book series about a 16-year-old girl with a jetpack who flies through the sky, punching people with glowing eyes and shooting ray guns. That sounds cool, doesn't it? And it's set in 1935, because who doesn't like a period drama? It's a really all-ages fun comic book. It's my first comic book miniseries that I'm co-writing with my wife. So if you want to go over there, get some cool prints by Nicholas Scott, by Tim Seeley from Nightwing, all kinds of cool stuff, go over to JupiterJetComic.com. And I have a special offer. Anybody from the Weekly Pool, I'm telling you, if you go over there, you donate at JupiterJetComic.com, and you leave me a little comment or a message saying, like, hey, I found you from the Weekly Pool, I'm going to ship you a comic book from my own collection with a handwritten note saying why I just think this comic book is so cool. So if you want that, JupiterJetComicBook.com. JupiterJetComic.com. Don't put the book in there. Only for the Weekly Cool people.
All right, awesome. So before we can go to our topics today, which the big one's obviously going to be the Ben Affleck Batman thing, the ears are to prove that emotions work in the real world for Green Lantern science technology coming up on my channel soon. I just wanted to start wearing them. I'm not going to wear them the whole time. This does not work well with me. Oh, see, I'm interested.
Are you, or did the batteries die?
I don't know if the battery's going to die. I probably should replace it before we actually did the shoot. So for those of you guys wondering, that's what this is. These ears allow you to read emotions. But I also wanted to say, today's episode is also brought to you guys by the official Weekly Poll Discord. Here's the link to that. You can chat with all the members of the Weekly Poll in between the episodes. We all get in there. We chat every so often. Some lovely guys are running that for us. You may know them as Mopey and Darkwing. They've put this whole thing together, and now we're getting it actually partnered. So that's another awesome thing. Cyborg Soldier says, the ears up, man, I was turned on. So that was one big thing we had to announce. And the second thing is, and Sal, I'll let you go ahead and take this announcement since you have 2 things to announce with it. The Bleeding Cool thing.
Oh, yeah, right. I was like, uh-oh. Yes, thank you so much to the Weekly Poll audience and, of course, to the Comic Pop audience as well, because both groups, that is to say the Weekly Poll and Comic Pop, are winners of Bleeding Cool's 2017 Fan Awards. The Weekly Poll won Best Podcast and went up against some stiff competition, and Comic Pop won Best Web Series. So we can now officially say that we are an officially award-winning podcast.
We're an award-winning podcast, and not only that, but we're the best podcast. Sorry, Jason, I know you also have a podcast, but at least you're on this one, the best podcast.
Look, I'm still on both the 2 best podcasts on the internet, so it's all good.
We should make shirts. We should have shirts like #1 Dad, #1 Podcast. See? My shirt says #1.
Yeah.
That's right.
Funny side note, second place for best podcast was Sal's Elseworlds Exchange.
Yeah, and basically the write-up for the Weekly Poll is like a commercial for the Elseworlds Exchange, which I'm like, thank you. But yeah, no, I am thrilled that we got this distinction. I'm just...
I mean, we've always made that ongoing joke, and I've put it in the tagline of Twitch, best podcast on the internet, but apparently other people agree now. Not just full of
it's nice to know. It's nice to be validated.
Your new tagline should be like the Weekly Pool. Bleeding Cool loves us.
Yes, Bleeding Cool approved podcast.
Oh yeah, there you go. Bleeding Cool approved. I like that. Little
stamp. I updated my Twitter. I was like co-host of the award-winning The Weekly Poll podcast.
That's right.
So is that now the official title of the award-winning Weekly Poll podcast?
Yep.
Do we get like a trophy? And if I get a trophy, then the argument
the internet. You just get applause.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna order a trophy and say it's from this.
Sure. That's not a bad idea.
All right, guys. So, I mean, that's just it. We wanted to go over a couple of little, like, admin kind of things. Go check out the chat room. Go fund the Kickstarter. I did. I took the other Cullen Bunn thing. So, you definitely should.
Both of you did, and I really appreciate it.
Of course.
No, well, I mean, the artwork looks amazing, and the story sounds good. I didn't just do it for the Cullen Bunn thing.
Really?
Although,
hey, he's a cool dude. He's a very nice St. Louis living man. Really quickly, I saw a couple comments in the chat. Everybody said, like, at what level? At least $5 or more, and I'll send you that comic book because, you know, come on, you don't want to put me in the negatives, do you?
right. It costs more than $1 to mail it.
Yeah, there's 400 viewers right now. If every one of them did $1, you'd be sending off 400 comics. The shipping would be more than you got.
Yeah, right. I would be in the negative.
Exactly.
Besides, why wouldn't you want to buy the book? Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, is 5 where you get the book?
No, at like 15, you get a digital copy of the book. So.
Okay, well, because I remember when you first announced it, I was going to be like, well, I like the art, I like the story. I'll get the one where I get the book. And then I saw the Cullen Bunn thing, and I'm like, and now I'm paying a lot more.
But you still get the book.
But you get
I was actually not going to lie. I was going to ask you that off the podcast. Do I still get the book, or do I
No,
just
you do. You still get the book. Yeah.
Nice.
All right, awesome. So let's go ahead and talk about the big topic. We're not even going to waste any time. It's the big thing. Ben Affleck is not going to direct the Batman movie.
Nope. Oh, before we get into that, though, John Apocalypse. Sploosh.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
There you go.
Like, Rob's like, but I have another announcement as well.
I thought
have
Rob
a
had
very
like,
important
inside
announcement.
information about Ben Affleck.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is this? But I do want to say
I
this
know
before we
people-
move forward with this discussion. This is for the discussion. I've seen a ton of rumors. Ben Affleck's not going to be Batman anymore. He's already quitting.
Yeah.
I've looked into these. There's no confirmation from DC or Ben Affleck about any of that. The only thing that they have said is that he's not going to direct. And then everyone and their brother is now running thousands of rumors on everything from Forbes to Bleeding Cool about what does this mean. As far as we know, official wording is that it means he's not going to direct. That's it.
But he's still committed to being in the movie.
He still wants to be Batman. He still intends to write the script from what we're seeing. Everything else is on point. He basically just said, I can't do all three. It's too big of a project.
Do you want to? Yes. Did you guys talk about last week on the Weekly Pool that I unfortunately couldn't make it onto? Did you guys talk about like the new writer for the Flash script?
No, we didn't get a chance to talk about it.
No, we should talk about that too.
Here's my. This is what I think this all means. Ben Affleck not being the director of Batman and that new writer for the Flash means absolutely nothing. The movie's still going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Like everyone's all like, it means, it means it's going to be horrible, and it's going to be the end of the world. Guys, look, I love DC. Everyone knows that. I literally have them tattooed to my arm.
Yeah.
But DC, while not horrendous movies, is not like Marvel Cinematic Universe level yet. So anything's an improvement at the moment. So we're good.
Yeah.
I just think, I actually, to be honest with you, I appreciate him stepping down because that means that he's like, and he's a big Batman fan. Like, he's a big Batman fanboy. He built, like, a fake Batcave into one of his old houses that Kevin Smith now owns. Kevin Smith talks about it all the time. I appreciate that Ben Affleck was like, look, writing this is going to take me a long time. Playing Batman is a lot of work. I can't direct this and make it a great movie. I appreciate that he stood up and was like, I can't do this.
Well, as I understand it, he also lobbied to try and get like the suit to be more comfortable so that he could actually like direct and be Batman at the same time. Like there was this whole thing where he's like, because I just imagine, and that was the thing that clicked for me because I had this moment where I was imagining him being like, where are the other drugs going? And then he's like, okay, I'm gonna have to get everybody come on, like, and then try to direct while being Batman.
Well, and that's just it. Like him directing a mob period piece or whatever. He's in nice, comfortable suits. He can stage and do it. But this is Batman in the skin-tight Batman suit.
Yeah.
I mean, also keep in mind, this is Ben Affleck. It'd be different if it was just like some random guy, but Ben Affleck has enough juice that even if he's not directing, he's directing. Like, if he comes along and says, hey, look, I would rather we do something else instead, like the new director, I mean, I doubt that he would, we would be like, yeah, we'll just do whatever you want. But I'm pretty sure Ben Affleck, I mean, as a producer, and even just as a well-respected actor, will probably have a pretty good amount of pull in terms of what it is that will and won't happen. That being said, if it turned out, I mean, if it were true that Ben Affleck wasn't going to be Batman, if him backing out as director got this much attention, the world would know that he wasn't going to be Batman. Like, there'd be no doubt about that.
Yeah.
So,
Plus, I have a feeling.
I think Ben. Oh, go ahead, Benny.
Oh no, you go ahead. Good. I talked.
Well, I was going to say, like, with as big a Batman fan as Ben Affleck is, I think we're gonna have to pry this role from his cold dead hands. I think he's gonna be like Roger Moore, James Bond. Like he's gonna be like, I'm up for another one. I'm up for another one. We're gonna have Ben Affleck playing Batman until he's like in his late 50s.
I mean, like then they can finally do The Dark Knight Returns.
Yes, exactly. And Ben Affleck might be like, I'm not quitting until I get to do The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
See, but I was basically gonna say, like, everyone's all worried that he's gonna quit. Let's just go ahead and say Ben Affleck is tired of being Batman for whatever the reason. I have a weird feeling WB is gonna throw whatever they can at him to keep him on board in that role.
Well,
like, I don't see Ben Affleck just coming out being like, guys, I'm a little tired of it, and WB's like, okay, we'll get someone else. Thanks, Ben. And that's the end of that, you know?
The fact is, for him, he's the one thing that everyone agrees is working about the DCEU.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And so and that's actually kind of interesting because it puts Warner Brothers in a difficult position because Affleck is very aware of this, and they are now in a position where they kind of have to like give him what he wants because he's the one thing that is working. It's not like there's this one cinematographer that just rocks and it's like, okay, fine, just make the movie look like that. Like, no, It needs to be, you have to satiate this one dude and his particular tastes. And from what I've heard, and take this with a grain of salt, it's all rumors anyway, but like the rumors about what this Batman movie is going to actually be, it sounds like it could be a movie that's made for like $80 million and could be freaking awesome and make $600 million. Like it could just fix everything.
Yeah.
And Warner Brothers will have less of an impact than, let's say, they did on Suicide Squad, where it was like, Ayer's like, I want to make this little movie about these guys, and it's gonna, and then they were like, okay, but we have to meddle and change and alter and edit, and it just becomes something else. Whereas Affleck's like, you're not touching a frame of this movie, though, because if you want him to show up in Justice League 2, you're gonna have to leave my Batman movie alone.
Well, yeah, like that's the. By the way, Music Man 625, splooge.
Nice.
That's the that's the crazy thing about it is like I didn't really care for Batman vs Superman, but I thought Ben Affleck was great enough of a Batman that I was like, I'd go see a movie with Ben Affleck as Batman.
Yeah,
like I think he'd be a good Batman. Yeah, like I enjoyed that whole
Benny
thing.
so much he ran away.
Yeah. Well, he didn't have the ears anymore to indicate silently to us what he was feeling. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you guys. I guess and this is from me living in LA and being in production and working so many production jobs. Like the changing of a director or changing of a screenwriter, like literally means nothing because almost every movie that's made goes through like 6 directors and 6 writers. It happens on every single movie. So this is just another thing of that. It just goes to Ben Affleck just being like, I'm too busy.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't make a mediocre Batman movie.
I will say,
Sorry about that.
when he was running the circuit, when he was doing all the interviews promoting Live by Night, which as it turns out was the first big flop of 2017. I remember everybody who got him in the interview chair was like, and Batman? And by like the 12th interview, he had lost any patience he had for not talking about his personal like crime drama.
Yeah, and I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either. It's like it'd be like making one thing and then being asked about the other thing. It just sucks.
Well, it'd be like if I spent this entire podcast asking you guys about the Elseworlds exchange.
Right. People would be then you'd be like, well, the show's over now and Sal is fired. but yeah, and I feel for him, and I could see him getting like sick enough of it to be like, is this going to be my life now? Like, despite the fact that I'm Ben Affleck, like, I was the Good Will Hunting kid until I wasn't. Are my latter years going to be, like, when's the next Batman movie? Am I going to have to put up with this shit for the rest of my life?
Yes, he will.
Yes, but I think that I could see him getting, like, frustrated enough to walk away. Like, that's the thing, is that I don't think this move indicates he's going to leave the role. But I do see Affleck being like, I make enough, I'm talented enough, and I have enough clout that I could walk away at any minute. And I think that is like a cloud that will be ever present anytime that Warner Brothers is working on a movie with Batman in it.
Well, let me throw this out to all three of you guys. We know that Affleck is not going to be the director of this movie. Who would be your dream pick? Who do you want? They put out a couple other names. I forgot what they were. I'm sorry. I'll look them up.
Yeah, I know. I would love to hear that.
I was actually just looking that up a second ago. So Matt Reeves is one of the guys they're pegging to direct, and of course, like one of those more his movie right now is War for the Planet of the Apes. Before that, it was Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. He directed Cloverfield, and then you've got Gavin O'Connor. His most recent movie was The Accountant. Now, let me tell you something, man. Like, have you guys seen The Accountant yet?
I have.
No.
I loved it.
Dude, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. It's so it has like the town kind of feel to
isn't it?
Yes, The Accountant is extremely good.
Everything you guys are mentioning that I want to look at when we're done with the podcast, I'm pulling up in a tab and I'm like, look at this, look at this.
Matt Ross is also on the short list, and his most recent movie was Captain Fantastic. But he's also directed, but no, he was also like an actor from a long time ago. But yeah, his most recent movie is Captain Fantastic, the Viggo Mortensen movie.
Yeah, and between, I mean, just between that, I mean, right there, you've got a solid director lineup. So it's not like it's going in the hands of like Zack Snyder. I mean, it's not like it's just going to some arbitrary person's hands that has no business making that movie.
Zack Snyder's not that bad. If we want,
no, but he's bad enough.
Yeah, to be honest with you, if they announced Zack Snyder as the director of the Batman, I wouldn't like revolt or anything like that. My only thing is about going for like.
Well, he's been asking for it forever. Like that's the thing he's been working towards.
My thing about Matt Reeves, with because Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is that he took what is already a very silly concept, and I love the new Apes trilogy. I think it's fantastic, and I'm really excited for War. So he would be my pick simply for the fact that I know he can take something silly and make it great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would work out well. I mean, honestly, my pick would be Gavin O'Connor. And the reason why I would say Gavin O'Connor is because he seems really good at making movies that are like paced out, that are kind of slower. But like, I'm a stickler for movies like No Country for Old Men, stuff like that, where they're lengthy and they have a really, really good story and not a whole lot of action happens. The problem is, if we got a Batman movie like No Country for Old Men, it would be boring as shit. So like, people would be like, "This movie sucks." Like, it'd be so boring.
I mean, that looked like what they were going for with Logan. Like, hey, we're gonna spend an hour going in the countryside reflecting, and then we saw the trailer with X-23, and you're like, "Okay, I feel better."
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's gonna be. Gonna have a good action, but no, I mean, between those directors right there, like, honestly, I would take any one of them. But to your question, for a dream director, if I could pick anybody, I'd pick Martin Scorsese to direct a Batman movie.
Huh.
Like, I would grab him if I could get away with it, just based on Shutter Island.
I see. That's an interesting choice, but I think Martin Scorsese would make a boring as shit Batman movie.
No, I don't think.
I'm not the only one, then, Jason, because he said that, and I'm like, okay, well, you know.
I mean, Rob, he's a great director. So, like, yeah, you know what? I'll one up you. Like, I'll say Martin Scorsese from '98. I would love to see make a Batman movie.
Yeah, not today's Martin Scorsese.
You don't want Shutter Island, Martin Scorsese?
That's what I was gonna say. Like, Shutter Island's amazing, but there's definitely like an hour in the middle of that where you're like, I can take a really long pee break, and I don't think I'm gonna miss much.
Oh, what's his new movie? Silence.
Oh yeah.
I've heard it's really boring. I haven't seen it, but I've heard a lot of people say it's really boring.
There's a lot of reasons why that movie is bad.
Isn't it?
Okay. Then let me ask you about this. What about like Steven Soderbergh? Guy directed the Ocean's movies. Like,
he would bring some crazy
I'd like to see him do a team book, because the dude can juggle a cast. Like, I would rather see Steven Soderbergh do like an Avengers movie.
Oh, dude, that would be so good. Or no, just do like Batman, Superman. Like, just do like Batman, Superman. Yeah.
See, Steven Soderbergh is my pick to do a Matt Fraction, David Aja Hawkeye movie.
Oh, dude.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude, that'd be so fun.
If they ever do that, I just want the dog sequence to be in there.
Oh,
the dog's running through and no one understands anything, and the dog's just doing its own thing.
Yeah.
What was that dog? What was it? Pizza Dog? Is that what it was?
I think that's what they ended up calling him. Yeah.
Yeah. They named him Pizza Dog 2 when he got a second dog. You can't name him Pizza Dog 2. Dude. I would. Oh my god, I would watch the hell out of that. Like Clint Barton, Kate Bishop, Hawkeye team up movie. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
it'd be really fun.
God, dude, Jason, man, he's got like all the best ideas over there. Oh man. But
I don't know. Batman Dream Director. That's a really tough one, because you got to have a guy that like can handle like darkness but he's got to be able to hand action adventure. You know, Rob, your choice for the guy who directed The Accountant. I'd be if he got announced as doing the job. He's got a relationship with Ben Affleck. He's proved he can make a solid action movie that actually has a story. I'd be totally behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be pretty solid.
I've got at least 3 directors that I think I would really work.
Go.
Two of them are older, and one of them's more new. I would go with either A History of Violence as David Cronenberg.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Because dude
choice.
can make violence look awesome, and also dude is a consummate like a director. I would go with the obvious choice, which is David Fincher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At 7 would make especially if it is. I'm picturing directors who are going to make this movie that I've heard is the movie, which is the rumor is it's Die Hard, but it's Batman.
That would
Yeah.
be amazing.
The rumor is
that
it's Batman like trapped in Arkham Asylum, so you get to see all the villains, but he doesn't deal with them all. It's basically like a Serious House and a Serious Earth. And Cronenberg or Fincher be amazing, and if you can't get either of them, then I go with Pete Travis, who did Dredd.
Wait, where did you hear this? And like, how did
Oh,
that
that's a
wrap
good
into
choice.
Deathstroke?
That's a good choice, the Dread guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I see. I mean, like, we've heard Deathstroke.
Yeah, from what I understood, Deathstroke was the villain. You know, that was
That could be.
Yeah.
Well, it
Yeah.
could be that like maybe Deathstroke is gonna like locks him in Arkham and he's like hunting him or something like that.
I'm
Well-
just so happy that
well-
it's going to be Deathstroke because I'm so freaking tired of the Joker popping up in every goddamn
Dude,
Batman
no,
movie.
it is
No,
Deathstroke.
no,
We
but here's-
know they were shooting some footage of Deathstroke during Justice League. So
They were Joe Mantel, how you say his name?
Yeah, I can't.
he
Trust me.
he came out and confirmed. He confirmed on Twitter that Deathstroke footage was his costume test.
Oh.
Now, whether that was, whether Deathstroke is to be in Justice League, I'll be very surprised if you don't see Deathstroke in Justice League. Because it was around the same time that they were filming that movie. It'll be a cameo, but like, why wouldn't you do that too? But yeah, he claimed on Twitter like he was like, this is a costume test that we did for Deathstroke. That was where that weird footage came from.
right.
Yeah. Back to Sal's point about David Fincher, like you brought up the movie Seven. Like, could you imagine that scene, like with Kevin Spacey when they're riding out to the desert? He's going on that whole spiel. Like, could you imagine like Batman and the Joker?
Yeah.
Like, dude, that'd be incredible. That'd be an incredible.
Well, if you put Batman in Arkham Asylum and you got David Fincher making that scene, you have a Joker scene, you've got a Scarecrow scene, you've got a Killer Croc scene, you've got a Mad Hatter scene. Any character you want to do, you could have a Kite Man scene, and it would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kite Man.
I love
just
what
saying,
Tom
man.
King is doing
What
with
a
Kite Man.
trope.
I love what he's doing at that.
Yeah, the recurring joke of Kite Man. Yeah.
2 second sideways track, whatever you want to call it. Did anyone
Yeah.
see the image that Tom King tweeted out about the next story arc for Batman?
No.
It was Joker.
I am. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he tweeted out Joker's his next arc.
Yeah.
What? They're
surprise
finally
me.
addressing that. Thank you so
right.
much.
Well, he's supposed to be the guy who's dealing with the 3 Jokers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
It just,
Well, it's about time they got him
all
after
it
it.
was an image of Batman punching Joker. So I mean, it could be a flashback or something, but
Oh yeah,
yeah,
man.
I believe it was
hope
him.
they-
It was either him or the artist. And he
Yeah, no, it's
retweeted
him.
it.
I'm looking at it right here because the tweet says, "Coming soon, Batman punching the Joker in his stupid face. In the
Yeah.
end, the good guys win." Spoilers.
Right.
Well, the good guys are the Joker.
Yeah.
I really
gotta
hope
say-
he got permission to tweet that out, and DC wasn't like, "What? No!"
I would imagine he got permission. I know a couple of publicity people over at DC. Clark Bull is one of them. He's a really, really cool guy. Yeah, he probably had to make sure.
That's probably not something you just tweet out like, "Oh, I'm going to be using Joker, guys." No, Tom, what is wrong with you?
Well, it's not something you tweet out if you want to be writing Batman very long.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He gets some Fincher pencils. He's like, these are just so cool. I'm just gonna tweet them out. Like,
Yeah. Let's
imagine
drop
that?
spoilers for the highest selling DC title. Oh.
Man, I feel like this David Finch guy, he needs a lot of help. I'm going to help out his Twitter account, and maybe people will get to know who he is. Look, he's
Yeah.
Batman.
yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, man. I want to see a really, really solid Batman movie. I want to see like a quiet but awesome Batman movie.
I want to
Yeah.
see. I would like to see
Go ahead.
what we had in Batman Begins, but in a realistic Batman world, not a realistic world take on Batman. I want to see
Yeah.
like that dark, that moody, that character, that kind of a thing, but in a Batman world where villains
Yeah,
have got like croc faces and stuff.
Where Killer
Yeah,
Croc could exist.
Yeah.
I really want it to be like a mystery. I really want this. I really want this Batman movie to be, and I don't know how you're going to do it with Deathstroke, but maybe you can somehow.
Yeah.
I really want it to be like this detective mystery because we haven't had that in any superhero movie so far. Like a really, really involved. Like imagine, like you brought up Fincher. Imagine the mystery of Gone Girl applied to a superhero.
Yes.
Oh my God, dude! Who was it that directed The Place Beyond the Pines?
I don't know.
Dude, that movie was super good. That one had like Bradley Cooper. It had Ryan.
David O. Russell. I don't know.
Maybe it was, but no. Okay, see, but here's
Derek
okay.
C. in France. I don't
Now,
know.
if we were going to extend this out, I would say Ridley Scott, 1982 Blade Runner. I would take him to directing a Batman movie.
All
That
right.
would be insane.
I
yeah.
would love that. Maybe not today.
No,
yeah, it would have to be
definitely not
82. It would have to be hungry Ridley Scott, not Alien.
Not comfortable
Isn't it?
Ridley Scott.
Yeah,
I'm doing well. If this fails, I don't really care.
yeah. Post Gladiator Ridley Scott is not my favorite Ridley Scott.
Yeah, I almost kind of rough. But yeah, so I mean, regardless, I mean, everybody's kind of shooting for the movie, and even then, like I said, you know, regardless of what director we get, I mean, I think you know, Jason's right when he says that like DC looks around. Was it Jason or was it Sal that was talking about like, you know, people looking at Batman and saying like it's the one great thing going on in the DC.
It's Sal.
Yeah, Sal. So it's like the one great thing going on in the DC, and so
No, I don't think it's just
true.
Sal. I'm pretty sure that's like unanimously.
That's what
agreed
everybody's
upon.
saying.
Yeah.
It's Ben
So
Affleck is the best part
yeah.
of it, which is funny with how much shit for almost a year he got that he was going to be
Yeah.
Batman, where everyone's like, no,
Not for me. Not for me. I was calling that as soon as they announced it.
Yep.
You go look on my channel. There's a video I made that I was like, I think Ben Affleck will be awesome. You can find it. It's crazy. Everybody called me crazy, and I was like, he's an Oscar winner. He's not going to screw this up.
Right,
Yeah.
he's not
Yeah.
going to come in and just be like, no matter what, I'm this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean it's funny how fast opinions can change. Like it's like people will turn on a dime because all it takes is a great performance. So people like who could have imagined Chris Evans is like Captain America?
Not
the guy
me.
was the Human Torch.
No
I never
one.
would have sat down and said, "Oh, Chris Evans is going to be a great Captain America." Now I can't see anybody playing him besides Chris Evans.
He
the same
nailed it.
thing with Tony Stark. You know, all those characters. It's like, damn, I can't see anybody. Even right now with I can't remember his name anymore. Guy who plays Superman. Yeah, what is his name?
Henry
now?
Cavill?
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill. I can't see anybody else playing Superman besides Henry Cavill now because I love the way he portrayed the
I
character.
could see about 4 or 5 other people playing Superman.
I don't know. I love
No,
the way he
I'm
portrayed Superman.
with you. I'm with you, Rob. Like Henry Cavill is like the perfect Kurt Swan Superman.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And I actually agree with you on that one. I would like his direction to be a little different, but as far as we're going with like the image and the way he's portrayed him so far, when he does it right, he is Superman. I like that.
Yeah.
I like the way he does it.
I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to
so-
seeing that someday.
Wow.
He's never done it. When he smiles and it's not ironic or like mean, then I'll be down.
He'd be a great.
He
Injustice
smiles
Superman.
when he flies with the zebras
Oh,
in Man
yeah,
of
that's
Steel.
right.
You would smile if you flew with zebras as well.
I'm not Superman. Superman's like, woo, I have amazing powers and I'm super great and having a terrific time. No. Superman smiles when he's saving people. He smiles when he's like assuring people that they're going to be okay. He doesn't
Wait, I'm
smile when
gonna
he's
put you on the spot here, Sal. So you're saying that if you fly with zebras, even if you're Superman, you cannot smile? I call bullshit.
I'm saying that is your only example of him smiling, and I'm saying that anytime he is dealing with humanity, okay, that's fair. He smiles with zebras, but when he hangs out with a single human being, unless they're having sex with him, he doesn't smile. Unless you have a sexual relationship with Superman, or you're a weird horse.
And look, I'll just
then
say it. I'd have
do not
sex with
smile for
Superman, man. I mean, that's
I
dude,
mean,
yeah.
if Henry
Dude,
Cavill
I'd
walked
bang
up to
him.
me on the street and said, "Let's go, get in that bathtub," I'd say yes.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, there's a small
Let's
list
do
of
this,
guys
man.
that I would just go gay for, and Superman is on that list.
His hunk factor is over 9,000. I'm just saying that he doesn't smile as Superman, and it's frustrating because I liked Brandon Routh as Superman. I was like, oh, this guy's great. And then everyone was like, this is garbage. Get out of here.
No, he wasn't a bad Superman. The writing was bad for Superman Returns. Like that was the issue with that. The writing
think that
wasn't
was a
bad.
great
It was
Clark
written
Kent.
correctly. Lois Lane was great. Perry White was great. Jimmy Olsen was great. Superman was great. Lex Luthor was great. Everything about it looked great. It had great CG, great special effects. The problem was it was boring and had a little kid in it, and it got the wrong damn lesson. And it
Yeah.
just, I'm
It
not
was
saying
Jonathan
it's a good
Kent
one,
before
I'm just
Jonathan
saying-
Kent.
Yeah,
I like
Sal, I'm with you, dude, for Superman Returns because that movie has like everything going for it except the story. And if Bryan Singer had made any other movie besides the 5th sequel to the Richard Donner movie that we didn't need, it would have worked,
Yeah, no. If he was,
and we would have gotten a franchise out of it.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think there's no question. I mean, like, I heard this, and I don't know if this is true, but I heard that they had been talking to Brandon Routh about portraying Superman as a postscript to the Green Lantern movie back when they were spending $275 million on a Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds.
Wow, I did not hear that. It's crazy.
I don't know if that's true.
That movie
But-
doesn't exist. There's no Green Lantern movie.
That's right.
There's no CG
coming.
mask.
No, Benny, no.
But you want to know? You want to know a
don't
fun
get the backup.
fact?
You
You
don't
want a
get
fun
the backup.
fact? You know who lost the role of Superman to Brandon Routh barely? Henry Cavill.
That's funny.
Really?
You can go YouTube. You can find his screen test for Superman Returns. It's Henry Cavill.
Hey, maybe he'll be a better Superman. I don't know. You know
Yeah.
what I do? Yeah, that's fine. I'll check that out.
I mean, that'd be a great way to bring him back. Just be like, I died, and now I have an appreciation for life. Go life! I'm
Yeah.
Superman.
Hey,
Yeah.
Zebras.
Zebras. No, in all honesty, I mean, I like, back to the Batman thing. I mean, I'm really digging where they're going. The only issue that I have with this is it feels like with Ben Affleck, they're kind of throwing all their eggs in one basket, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But in all honesty, truth be told, if I had my way, I mean, Justice League is cool and everything. I want to see Justice Society. Like, I want to see,
Now
Jake
you're reaching.
Garrick. No. I want to see some Justice Society stuff.
On
I mean,
the
that's
big screen?
Yeah, you do that after you do the Justice
Well, as
League.
amazing as that
But
would
I'm just
be,
saying.
I don't really see that ever happening. I mean,
Oh, I do.
well, it's
I mean,
because
I
Alex
see that.
Scott up in here.
Yeah, well, you know what? People said the same thing about Black Widow. Why the hell would they put Black Widow in a movie? Like, why would she be on the silver
Because
screen?
Marvel only has like 3 female leads. I mean, that's
Yeah,
why.
yeah, and they made it work. Okay, let me ask you this: like 15 years ago, would you have said that there would ever be a chance that you would see Iron Man in a movie? Of all
No.
people, Iron Man, and it's one of the best movies that Marvel's put out,
At
and one of
least
the best
people know who
characters
he
they have.
is. You
They
go
do
to the Justice
now.
Society in the movie screen, they're like, "Here's the other Flash, the other
They
Green
do,
Lantern."
yeah. They know who he is now. They knew who he was in Civil War.
I don't know. You're reaching. I think you're reaching.
I don't think so. No, I don't think I'm reaching at all.
I'm kind of the same way. I don't know if we'll ever. I think it's a ways down the road before we see JSA. I think, but you know what? I'll tell you what. I would not be surprised at all if in the next 5 years we get a JSA TV show.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
can
that's
see
not-
that. Yeah.
You practically got one in Smallville.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we practically got one in Legends this season too.
That's right.
We got one in
Yeah.
Legends season 2, and the characters are popping up in Flash. We have Jay Garrick and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think you'll sooner see the Crime Syndicate than you'll see the JSA in a movie.
That would
Yeah.
be
Well, that would
pretty
be
hype.
amazing.
That would
I
be
would-
amazing.
I'll see that Justice League movie.
Hey guys, didn't you like Justice League? Well, here's an evil version of them. It's like, yeah.
That evil Superman doesn't like zebras.
Yeah.
That's
He
the one
beats
that
up
flies in and
zebras.
he's like, "Fuck you, zebras."
I like horses.
You're just horses with stripes. Go away.
You're undomesticatable horses. You're broken.
You're broken horses. You don't even neigh like horses do. Like, get out of
Hey,
here.
scary sounds, and I can't ride you.
You
That's
can't even camouflage well. You have to go to a painted fence.
Yeah. You suck, zebras. Okay, so now that we're ranting about zebras,
Yeah, I was like,
what are
what's
the other
next
topics that we
topic? 'Cause
have?
We're talking
Welcome.
about zebras.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
I don't even know if it's the next one on the list, but let's go ahead and talk about Cloak and Dagger.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm actually kind of excited about this. I'm actually. I mean, I know it's a Marvel ABC, but I think
Yeah,
it'll
it's
be,
freeform, right?
I think it'll be cool.
Where on that channel, they bleep the Gilmore Girls. So I'm looking forward to
Are
seeing
you
what...
serious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freeform. Okay,
Yeah.
so there's
That's damn
ABC,
hell.
which is the family friendly, but Freeform is the really family friendly network. That
It's ABC Family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be like Disney Channel presents Cloak and Dagger, but
Well,
I'm just
did you look
glad
at
that
the
we're
people in
getting
the cast?
some kind
They're
of.
young, and Cloak and Dagger
Yeah.
are not young like that. It's
Well,
gonna
the
be
chick is a former Disney Channel star.
That's what I mean. It's going to be like Cloak and Dagger, the teenage years.
They started out as teenagers.
I mean, I'm just glad to see him get some kind of representation. Like, I'm hoping at least it's something a little bit bigger, something a little bit better. I mean, I don't want this to be like the last stop of Cloak and Dagger. That said, it is on ABC. It probably will be the last stop of Cloak and Dagger.
I
Yeah.
predict that Cloak and Dagger won't even make it to series. I think it's
You
going
don't
to be...
think so?
I think they're going to do the pilot, and I think they're going to go, nah.
Oh, I don't
I mean,
know.
when I first saw the announcement, I was excited because I was like, a dark and gritty Netflix Cloak and Dagger. This will be amazing.
In
and
a
then I'm
heartbeat.
like, Freeform. This is gonna suck.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Netflix is where you put him. Netflix is where you throw him in, and
Yeah.
you maybe have him cross over with
And they
Daredevil.
could
Maybe
work
you-
in that universe too.
Yes, easily.
Yeah.
No,
That
They
being
definitely
said-
could. Well, because I mean, every portrayal of them is like a middle road. Like they're trying to be good guys, but they get stuck doing bad things. I mean, their last appearance was in Amazing Spider-Man, where they were being controlled by Mr. Negative. So
Yeah.
that was a solid book.
It wasn't bad. It was a nice filler plot.
Cheerful Sal is cheerful.
Look, I'm not going to pretend.
Yeah, we're aware, Sal, that you won't pretend ever.
Yeah.
No. I understand where Sal's coming from because I mean, granted, you're not the biggest Cloak and Dagger fan ever, but if you had
I like Cloak and Dagger. I appreciate their value. I think that most people write them off. Most folk are like, Cloak and Dagger, why would you start there? And it's like, well, they're teenage runaways, and they have and they have a lot of pathos, and there's two characters that need each other. And during a time in Marvel when it was like the 80s, early 80s, there was this like interracial couple, and that was kind of cool. Like now it's like, who cares? But
but Cloak and Dagger, there's enough interesting things to their storyline that you could make a great television show. You could make a great television show with them not even being connected to the rest of the Marvel Universe, where they're the only heroes. They really work, but yeah, you are right. The place where this is ending up is the problem, not the series.
Yeah. This could be a good show on Netflix. I would even go as far as to say, put it like after Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so that airs 9, and then you have Cloak and Dagger at 10, and you would have a good, a solid show, and you would get people in from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You don't put it on Freeform. That's like that's like the which I think is still technically going, but like the Titan show going on TNT. Why? Why is it going there? Who's doing that?
At least TNT, they can say ass.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Jeff Loeb is the one that's running that, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody went to Jeff Loeb and said, "Hey, man, we really want to do a Cloak and Dagger show." He's like, "Well, I'm not doing it. Get somebody else to do it. I'm not doing Cloak and Dagger. That's crazy talk."
Yeah, it's people forget like Jeff Loeb, being in charge of Marvel TV. Like, dude has a preference for characters. He wrote them. Like,
yeah. He loves characters that he wrote, which is why I'm surprised we haven't seen Red Hulk yet. But I guess the whole universe.
Oh man, I bet we'll see a Red Hulk.
Dude, I really want to see Red Hulk
in the MCU. I bet we do. I mean,
what's her name? Betty Ross.
William Hurt. Put him back in the movies.
Dude, Betty Ross
and I think the reason why they put William Hurt in that movie is for Red Hulk. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt that at all. Like, but let me ask you this: do you think William Hurt's up for that?
Oh yeah, well, because
think about it, he can just voice the character.
He just voices the character,
like Iron Man style, like they're doing with Tony.
And then they'll hire freaking Andy Serkis.
Yep.
And he'll mocap the damn thing, because that's what they do. They're like, oh, we need a guy, put Andy Serkis in the freaking thing and make him do it. Like,
no, I think having Red Hulk would inject like some fresh blood into the MCU, which we as much as I love it, like we kind of need that.
We need
right
something
now.
with the Hulk.
We're getting it. Trust me, you're going to be upset.
Talk about a tangent. Do something with the goddamn. I spit on myself. Do something with the goddamn Hulk.
They can't, man. They don't have 100% rights for the Hulk movies. That's
That's
why Thor Ragnarok is basically Planet Hulk.
Yeah, because it's the only way they could do Planet Hulk and not have to pay Universal.
Yes.
Oh, it's the Universal still has it, huh?
Yeah.
They still have
like a they have a pre-MCU like equivalent of the Sony Marvel deal now.
Yeah.
Fine. All right, what's next? Cloak and Dagger's dead. Next topic.
Yeah. Okay, so there's the X-Men TV pilot.
Yeah.
Legion?
Yeah, we're talking about Legion. Okay, man, let me tell you something.
No, there's another show too.
No, there's another show.
Oh.
Okay, well, all right, here's the deal. So I was thinking about I thought about doing Legion to get prepped for it. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting there looking around. I was like, okay, we got Iron Fist, which is coming out. So I'm doing Matt Fraction's Iron Fist because that's infinitely more interesting than Legion. We have Wolverine. I was like, there's a million more interesting things coming out than Legion. But I was like, you know what? Maybe I could find a spot for it. So I sat down and what was it? X-Force, whatever that. Were the New Mutants where Legion got its own?
Mutants.
Yeah, New Mutants. Yeah. And I was going through that and I was like, dude, I am not making videos on this. I'm not doing videos on Legion. Now, I thought about doing one on, was it Age of X? The one where he, warped reality?
Okay, yeah.
Changed all existence? That I thought about doing because it's just a one-shot story, which I may end up doing in time for the TV, just to kind of, because Legion's kind of cool in his own right, but I don't know why they chose Legion. He's like the guy, Legion is like the one-hit wonder. He did one thing cool, and, he just set the stage for Age of Apocalypse. And it's yep, that's what Legion did.
They chose him because it's the same thing like this other Fox X-Men TV show where the whole concept is about this human parents are just going on the run with their mutant child from the government. Mm-hmm. It's because 20th Century Fox is weird. They're so old school. They will not let you do the X-Men or any part of the X-Men in a TV show. So there's basically like selling out these concepts by being like, look, you can't make an X-Men TV show, so just make like the janitors of the X-Men universe. We'll put an X in the title. People will think it's an X-Men show.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what it is. It's kind of silly. Like, it's when they were toying around with the idea with like the Hellfire Club. Like, what are you gonna do with the Hellfire?
Oh,
man! Like season 1 will be the Hellions, and then nothing else. Like,
honestly, I will say this: that's doable because Jessica Jones was one season was pretty much the entire good story. And now we have nothing, but we have a season 2 coming.
It's a great show. It's a great book. They didn't even do the Mutant Girl story. Like, there's a lot of story left for Alias, and if they wanted to,
moving on. We're gonna do the new Jessica Jones series that just came out.
Well, you know, the crazy.
Disagree with you, sir.
The craziest thing about all of this is that there are plenty of X-Men ideas that I think could work on TV, and they just keep avoiding them and staying away from them because, like, think about this: if there is one thing Legends of Tomorrow has proved to me, it has proved that a Cable jumping through time protecting little baby Hope series would work.
Oh, dude, let me tell you something, man. If they did Messiah War as a TV show, I would watch the hell out of that. I would just be like, yes, let's do this, man.
Literally, you could just muck with Bishop and make it so like Bishop shows up and he's just like, I need to find Professor Xavier and nobody knows who he is. Like, he just doesn't know the X-Mansion starts in Westchester and he starts in like California. That way they
Bishop
can shoot
Time Cop. Boom.
Yeah.
Make him a time cop. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool. See, but here's the problem that Fox has right now, though, because I was thinking about doing something about this by the time Logan comes out. Is no one knows where. Well, if you know where to go, you know where it stands. But like the average person doesn't know where anything stands. Like, well, you had Days of Future Past with retcon stuff, then you had X-Men Apocalypse, but now you've got Wolverine's origin. Okay, well, how did Wolverine get his out of? And it's just like it throws everything off kilter.
Yep.
And so people go into this and they're like, okay, we get that's the number one search. Like, when does Logan take place? Like, where does this fit in? The director had to come out and explain to people how Logan fits into the timeline because Fox had screwed it up so bad, people just couldn't figure it out on their own. You know, and so when you take something like Legion and then you inject it in there, is that going to bridge the gap between like, you know, the events of Days of Future Past or what led, you know, between X-Men Apocalypse and that's what,
they won't bridge a damn thing.
See, that's the problem, man. Like, you create this wildly incohesive universe. That's why the MCU works well. Sure, we'd love to see Daredevil and Jessica Jones and Punisher crossover with Iron Man, but you go watch Daredevil, and it's like, yep, this is sometime after the events of Avengers. We know that because there's stuff in the background that tells you that, and they reference it as the event. So it comes out well because you at least have some idea of when it takes place. Yeah. But with Fox, it's just kind of disheveled, and it's like Fox figures out how to make the movie just in time to make the next movie without ever thinking ahead. You know, and it's like, you know, like plan, you know, get things figured out. And that's what kind of throws people off. But it's like, yeah, but with the idea of Legion, I mean, like, dude, Jason's right. There's so many things you could do. Like, don't make New Mutants a movie. Make it a TV show. Like, I don't know if Fox has The Runaways. Make The Runaways a TV show. Like, there's a lot of different things you could do with making shows that could be cohesive.
It's a good question because one of them is a mutant.
Hulu has Runaways?
Yeah, Hulu
had Runaways.
That's right. Hulu's making.
Oh.
So
that explains why I
the way
didn't
you
see
said
it.
that. You're like, make Runaways a show. Hulu has it? Oh.
No, let me tell you something. Yeah, there's like one Hulu original that I care about, and that's the show with Hugh Laurie. Everything else is just bad.
No,
I
like the one
is pretty good.
Which one?
Actually.
Oh, really?
Based on the Stephen King book. That's actually Runaways going to Hulu is not such a bad. They've made a couple things. There where Amazon was. No, there where Netflix was about 5 years ago. Is where Hulu is right now.
Okay, I'll take that. That was a good place.
Yeah,
they're like
everyone in the chat's now telling you they're already doing it,
but they will find.
Okay, guys. Well, let me just rush over to Hulu and watch Hulu's show.
I liked the Hulu show with the guy that is like a stoner and he can see dead people. It's like Dead Something. I watched that all the way through.
I forgot about 11/22/63. I saw 11/22/63, and that was one of James Franco's best performances.
Yeah,
that was pretty.
Yeah,
solid.
100%.
I forgot about
that show. How did it turn out? Was it good?
It was it was good.
All right, so let's talk about another topic so we can keep rolling through these. They had told that people reminded me in the chat, so I looked up exactly. I've never heard of this show. 2, had no idea it was being existing. 3, didn't know it was coming out tomorrow. Powerless, a story set in the DC universe.
Oh yeah.
hell is this?
I'm thinking half season.
It's got 4 episodes. That's it.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's the end.
Wow.
It's the month
Man.
of February event for NBC.
No, yeah, and we don't want to put our friend from DC All Access, Jason Inman, in any kind of uncomfortable position.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
We just went to their set.
Oh,
did you really? Was it cool?
Oh, okay.
Did you
It looks like an office.
Wow.
No, I mean, I'm not saying good or bad. Looking at the synopsis for the show, because I didn't even know it existed, it's one of those things that makes me just go, who thought of this? Like, why? I don't see a reason for it. It's not going to be good or bad. It's just like, why?
Well, if you remember back in the day, and I don't know if they held back to this, do you remember back, like a couple years back, that Damage Control was being developed?
Yeah.
And then like right around Damage Control, I think somebody else pitched this idea, and then Damage Control completely fell apart, and this show happened.
Yeah, I didn't hear about it falling apart, but I remember like the Damage Control pitch came out, and then I remember that DC pitched an insurance company show.
Yeah,
and I was
that's
like,
what the show is.
Yeah, and I was like, you're gonna have 2 shows about the same premise in 2 different universes? That sucks. And then nothing about Damage Control.
The only thing I can say about this is this doesn't sound like a horrendous idea, but it's on NBC, which means it's not set in the CW universe, which is where this could have flourished.
What is with these? What is with these? This dividing your house for no reason?
Well, no,
Yeah.
I mean, but this
Because it's
this
where you
concept
sell
of
it.
all. What's that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's there.
Well, I'm just saying, like, this concept, I just feel like would have worked so well in the CW universe where you're like, oh, here's the Flash, and crap went on, now we gotta go fix it, and stuff like that.
But you know what it is? Like, CW doesn't make, like, The Office type shows. Like,
Yeah,
Parks and
no,
Rec
you're
not
right.
have worked on CW. But it would have been a great opportunity for CW to, like, try other avenues of shows.
Yeah.
Like, why not make us a Parks and Rec for the CW universe?
You know,
keeping things... go ahead.
I haven't seen this show. I have not, so I'm going to watch it tomorrow with you guys.
Yeah.
Everything about the idea could work and could be funny as hell.
Okay.
I haven't seen the show. I don't know. My biggest worry about this is that this show could be really good. Like, this show could turn into a Parks and Rec. This show could turn into a Superstore or something like that.
Yeah,
but it's will NBC give it the time to develop into that?
Well, okay, no. Now, normally I would agree with that, but I would harken back to Heroes. Like, Heroes was huge when it first came out. There was a lot of anticipation. The problem with this is that no one knew. In fact, I just found out now. So, like, I mean, you don't say, like, hey, guys, here's this great, big, huge month-long event, and no one knows it's happening until the day before. Like, that's a very terrible way to advertise your product.
Yeah.
But
I feel like that's definitely going to hurt this. The fact that,
Yeah.
like, I mean, if us, like, so half of the people on this
The
podcast...
base.
Yeah. The core
Didn't know.
demographic, half of the people on this podcast didn't even know this thing existed. And I don't even know. Do you think you would have known about it, Jason, if you didn't go to the set?
I don't know. I
can't say one way or the other, but I feel like there's like this friend on my shoulder that's reminding me that I'm not really quite sure. But let's.
I mean, we're not going
Listen,
to nothing to
I
dwell
wish
on.
them-
We're not
I
gonna
wish
dwell
them
on
all
it,
the
don't
luck
worry.
in the world.
We don't,
I hope
we
it
don't
works
have
out.
anything to work with this. So.
Yeah, I hope it kicks ass. I hope it's awesome. I hope it's funny. I don't know.
I mean, honestly, like, I
It's
rather
got
would have gone
Alan
with a
Tudyk.
Damage Control.
As soon as I saw
Yeah.
him on the bill, I
And
was like,
Danny
holy
Pudi.
crap. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like,
got Danny
this
Pudi
could be
and-
so freaking good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I rather would have gone with like with a Damage Control show.
Oh yeah.
Like, I rather would have preferred Damage Control because here's what you could do with a Damage Control show. You could literally take the entire plot for Civil War, like Damage Control Incorporated in Civil War, rejigger it, and then just throw it out there. So instead
One
of tying
season.
into Civil War,
Yeah.
it's like, well, it's just a company that becomes corrupt because some guy screws it all up, and then you just kind of go from there, and it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Like you get like the people that clean up after the superheroes, and you could do that. Like, you could literally tie the events into it. It's like, yeah, man, like, we're still cleaning up after all the Civil War nonsense and mess, all that kind of stuff. But,
Yeah. Oh well, you literally each season is an event from Marvel, and like you make jokes like, "Oh, you should see our New York division." Like just that's all they say.
Yeah, but if that's what the show's going to be, just call it Janitors of S.H.I.E.L.D. and let's see that.
I'd watch. Well, they made that awful. Well, they made that other show. No. I was gonna say that web show that was like a parody of Shield show, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
Interns
I
of
thought-
Field.
I thought you were going to say Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay.
The Janitors of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So
I was
let's move on to
explaining
the last
the-
topic that's on the list before we
Yeah.
start having to ramble or talk about other things or take Q&A questions.
Right.
Marvel is officially going to release an actual reading order
Thank God. It only took 60 years for him to come up with the damn idea.
No. But hold on. Here's the thing. Because when I first heard about this, I thought the exact same thing. Thank God we have a 60-year reading order. From what I've read, that's not what this is.
It's not.
All it is them telling you what order to read the volume 1s that have recently come out.
Good.
What?
Yeah. It's all about them. It's all about the all new, all different Marvel now, like the most recent stuff, and they're telling you how that fits together.
Right.
Because people are like,
that
well,
kinda
wait a
makes
minute,
sense,
I'm
though.
noticing stuff is off.
Right, because I read it and they said they're going to explain Marvel Now, All New, All Different Marvel, Secret Wars, and Marvel Now 2.0. And that, like, those
Okay,
are the only
well-
4 events they're going to explain.
Well, that works because at least I know how to get my damn playlist in order instead of just kind of trying to wing it and play it by ear. Like, well, I think this goes. Like, I'm pretty sure this goes before this one. Well, hey guys, the playlist for my channel for All New, All Different Marvel. Anybody that cares enough to watch the damn shit, like that'll be in order, So that'll be cool. No, I mean it's.
Are you going to go back and put it in order because of this list?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the list. Like, I'm literally just going to follow.
You're the
list.
one guy. I love you.
Hey, I do it when the fans let me know that my playlist got way out of order.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did
okay.
it once. Somebody hit me up and they're like, your Batman playlist is way out of order. And I had it on the auto ad, so anytime I would use the word Batman, it would just throw
comes
things
in
in there.
Oh, crap. Yeah.
So it was like
That's funny.
60-something videos. Half of them didn't even have to do with the plot line, and I had titled it Batman Chronological Order.
Yeah.
Do auto ad? That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't know about
I need
that?
to learn that.
Yeah, I did
So
not
you
know you
put
could do that.
No, you can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can put a thing in YouTube auto ad. Just say include any video that has this,
Yeah.
and it'll just add it
crap.
to the playlist automatically.
So that way you don't have to mess it at all. It'll just automatically.
Very
So
helpful.
I have a Batman
That's
one.
very-
I have a Batman all video playlist. Superman all video playlist.
Do have yeah.
No, you know what Marvel needs? Marvel needs they need to do what DC did after Zero Hour and just be like, here's a timeline of when events took place,
Yes.
after All New, All Different Marvel. Like that's what they need, or even going into it. Like, here's when Mikhail. Wow, Mikhail Hadi. Splooge! What a name! That
You know
is
what,
a
Marvel-
name. There you have.
You know why Marvel won't do that? It's because they don't want to hear because they know that they don't know it as well as the fans. And what they
Yeah.
don't want to do is print things that would cost money and then have some jackass or 1,000 of them say, these are out of order and here's all the inconclusive evidence that proves that's the case. Like,
That
they
is
don't want to
exactly what happened when Nintendo said, "Here's how Zelda's timeline works."
Everyone
All the
was
fans are
like,
like, "No, that is not how it works."
Well, yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, there are people who dedicated their lives to explaining how the Zelda chronology works.
Yeah.
You know, but
what-
I will not even lie though. I would pay money, and Jason, use your connections at DC to make this happen.
Okay.
I want a timeline correction to at least know everything takes place during the DCU period. Like, how does
Yeah.
that all fit together?
The DCU.
Yeah,
Like,
Oh,
most
okay, the
people-
WoW U.
because
Yeah.
that was
Oh,
confusing
that.
as all hell. It was
Yeah.
like,
It was confusing. I don't know.
like, here's the powerless Superman stories. They're all happening together. Like,
Yep.
no, there's no way he's running from one side of the world to the other. How is this happening?
Yeah.
Well, the best part is
sometimes that stuff where it's like where it comes to the thing where you just don't make a timeline. Like just
Yeah.
you make your timeline.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
that's where headcanon comes into play. Really,
Yeah,
heavily.
exactly. Like there's so much, and I'm one of those fans that's not bothered by that because I'm just like, yeah, I know. If you were to actually put it all together with all the adventures that Superman's actually on, it's impossible. He never sleeps.
Even with his speed, it's impossible.
Yes.
Now, I remember a long ago, and you can probably still look it up. There's an old Wolverine backup joke where it explained how Wolverine was on so many teams, and it was literally like Sunday he's on the X-Men, Monday he's on the Avengers, Tuesday he's on X-Force, Thursday he teamed up with Spider-Man. Like it was an ongoing thing. And ever since then, I'm like, yeah, that's right. Why do I even care about the timeline? As long as in the end it all gets there.
Yep. Well, as long as I like what happened,
Yeah.
and that's all that matters to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Should we also mention what's it called?
we got like 10
the
minutes
fact
left, so whatever.
all right, Marvel and the Square Enix deal.
No. First of all, you guys aren't leaving out the RZA. All right.
Oh God,
We're not what?
fine.
The Riddler?
RZA from the
The RZA.
Wu-Tang Clan is directing an episode of Iron Fist. Let's take some time and talk about that.
My man, the
Sounds
RZA.
cool.
Think.
Yes. My man.
Yeah, well, we talked about it, and Rob got
I
excited.
am excited about that. There we
Has
go.
he directed before?
No, well, he made a movie called The Man in the Iron Fist.
Oh,
Off of it, looks
I
like.
know that movie.
Yeah. It's actually really fun.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, moving on. Actually, I did not know that
I wanna
Crystal
say this 'cause
Dynamics was
I'm
doing
probably the
it.
biggest gamer out of our group. Rob, shut up. I know I am, and you suck. So the Marvel Square Enix deal. I'm really worried this is going to be like the last Marvel game deal where we got Champions and a bunch of other app games, and we got a Connect title, and then we got a bunch of other shitty games that were garbage.
Yeah.
They're obviously, Marvel and Disney are finally like, hey, we want real games. So that's why I'm hoping this is something. Because one,
Yes.
Square Enix is not really known for their app game stuff. They've got a bunch, but they're not as well known as their like Final Fantasy.
They're Tomb Raider, right?
Yeah, they got Square Enix and Crystal
Yeah.
Dynamics. And Crystal Dynamics is the Tomb Raider guys.
Yeah.
And on
And both
top
those
of that,
groups are involved.
well, and on top of that, I believe, at least in my opinion, that them repenning the deal with Capcom to bring the next Marvel vs. Capcom game kind of
Yes.
proves that they're like, we want games.
Yeah. Only without any X-Men in it, though.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the roster for that Marvel Capcom 4 or whatever, it's got no X-Men in it.
Really?
you know what,
that
though?
sucks.
Well, you know what,
It
though? I
really
played a
sucks.
shit ton of Marvel vs. Capcom, and the only one I ever used was Wolverine. Swiss cheese!
Pineapple surprise!
I will say, if you have the rights to the characters in your video games, just put the damn characters in the goddamn game. Like, don't play this happy horse shit where, oh, but they get this, and blah, blah, blah. If you can make a comic book in which the X-Men and the Avengers can team up and fight Galactus, goddamn put the fucking comic out and don't put us through this shit anymore. I'm sorry, I'm just so sick of this, like, playground nonsense about, like, who's got what and who can afford that. Like, I'm sorry that Wolverine can't be on the Avengers, you jackasses, but, like, get over it. Just get over it. I can't handle it anymore. I'm just like, just stop.
Yeah.
First up, Sensationic. No, it has not been officially released. We're going off of the rosters we have seen of them images.
Yes.
It is all the current movie people. So it's like Captain Marvel and stuff like that. We haven't
Yeah.
seen X-Men. That doesn't mean they're not in there, but it definitely steers towards probably not in there. You know,
Oh, I'll
You know, it's one of
guarantee you, I'll bet Old Man Logan is in there.
Yeah. It's one of these things where, like, when you look back at Marvel and you're just like, man, the best Marvel game of like the last 5 years has been Lego Marvel.
Yeah.
You're just like, but also at the same time, if Warner Brothers can figure out Batman Arkham Knight and Injustice, there's no reason that Marvel can't literally just, like, why couldn't we create a Wolverine game that is basically Batman Arkham Knight, or even a Captain America game that's basically Batman Arkham Knight? Like, literally reskin the damn thing. It would be an amazing game.
Well, here's the thing. The Wolverine origin game rocks.
Yeah, that was
I did play that. I thought it was good.
And the Captain America game is a reskinned Wolverine game. So you get those
So he's
games.
trying to claw people? Like,
He's
all the
the
time?
shield instead, but like I will say I liked the Captain America First Avenger game, kind of. A Captain America game by itself is kind of like, all right, well, that's kind of boring. I'm excited by this Square Enix deal because, like, it's hopefully going to be kind of like in the style of the Tomb Raider game.
Yeah, and the last two Tomb Raider games were amazing. I know nobody's really ever played them, hence why they're so poor in sales. But
Right?
they're amazing.
it's because the time of Tomb Raider is kind of done. But if they pull out that new movie, it might come back. But, you know, I disagree. Sal, you said before that a Captain America game wouldn't be that interesting. Think about a Captain America game in the style of, like, Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
like
think it
a
would
Winter
really
Soldier
work.
type
Amazing.
game. Like, yeah, I get you there. That's
But no,
cool.
you make it so that he could, like, it's a buddy thing, so you can co-op with someone on Winter Soldier.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
I'd take that in heart. Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be cool. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Who do we
opportunities.
talk to make that happen? Who do we pitch this game
I don't know.
to?
Video game divisions are weird. I've
Got Kevin Feige's phone number. Call it up.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Here,
awesome.
let me give him a call.
Yep.
I'll
Kevin,
tell him right now on Skype.
live on the show. Hey, Kevin, what's up, man?
Kevin Feige here. Did we mention that we're award winning?
Yeah, from Bleeding Cool. You'll love it.
And we love zebras.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're big.
Well,
We love it
three
when Superman
quarters of us
flies
enjoy
as
zebras. As far as the games go, though, and for the people who are like trying to defend contests of champions, I know I don't talk to Jason that often off of that podcast, but the other two guys will vouch that I play the hell out of app games all the freaking time. And it's probably the worst part about having expendable income from the military sending me my VA checks, where I just go, okay. And I just dump it into these stupid things. But Contest of Champions has a very hard wall, where if you don't dump money in or like 40 hours per character, you're fucked. And that's the problem with that one.
Yeah. No, I mean, I didn't realize that Crystal
The
Dynamics...
DC Legends game, for the record, is a fun idea, but they put it out too early. There's just not enough content. It needs more stuff to do.
I agree with you on that
when I first heard about it, I was like, really, like an Avengers game? And I was like, well, that's cool, I guess. But then I found out Crystal Dynamics would make it, and I was like, well, I'm actually a lot more excited than I was before.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker, though. Think about this, though, and here's one thing that I've never seen anyone mention, because all they said was that here's the new project. They didn't name it as Avengers. They didn't name it what it was. For all you know, they've been penned for a 6-game deal, and that's each of the games.
Yes.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's a fair point.
I mean, well, the
next
end
Ultimate
logo
Alliance,
is
and we're all going to be super excited.
Ultimate Alliance 3 would be awesome.
That's what I mean. Like, it's the next Ultimate Alliance.
That would be great.
I want to do something new.
Yeah. I do want to see something more. Ultimate Alliance was fun, but like I would like to see something more in line with like a Metal Gear Solid or a Tomb Raider type game. I will say, is it confirmed? Did Brie Larson do the voice for that commercial?
Did you?
I don't know.
That's I heard people were like, because Brie Larson had retweeted the teaser and everything, and people were like, I think that is Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, doing the voiceover for this video game. And I'm like, is that true? If that's the case, is she playing a voice in the game? And if that's the case, are they getting everyone from the MCU to play voices in the game? Like, there's a lot of speculation. I think that we get the next piece of information in 2 years, so I'm looking forward to talking about that.
I'm calling it now. I know what this game is. It's Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Civil War 2.
Lord.
Your goal is to beat Ulysses with each of the characters and their own story.
I hope we never hear that name again.
Oh, we will. He'll come back. Remember, he's a cosmic entity now because
Al
reasons.
Ewing will use him or whatever.
I hope
The
not.
Ultimates have to go fight against him.
I'll take that if they kill him. But
If they kill him.
yeah. But that I guess that's all the news, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty much
We were
it.
worried we wouldn't get it all in.
We're in a slow news period until we get to WonderCon. Get ready.
Yeah.
When is WonderCon?
Beginning first weekend of April.
Oh.
You
Oh,
don't
so we got like 3
anything
months.
in Emerald City?
Oh, well, we might,
No.
but like generally the big dogs wait till WonderCon.
Yeah. I think it's why the major creators like all go to Emerald City in Baltimore, because they're like, shh, like no one can.
Yeah, the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess. Oh, we can. Last thing, and then we'll close the show. I guess. Black Manta has been cast.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Good for
I'm
him.
excited to see this Aquaman. I saw the greatest meme ever, though. The actor who I never can pronounce his name, but he played, we all know Aquaman now. The humongous dude that's playing Aquaman.
Oh,
And he
Jason
had
Momoa.
2 bodyguards with him. And I gotta find it. I
Yeah.
gotta find the meme.
Oh, I saw that.
image.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we all want to get to the point where we're bigger than our bodyguards or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
something like that. Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
that moment when your bodyguards look like mini bosses to get to you.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it was.
Oh God. Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, what role do those guys serve? Like,
Yeah, they're just
I don't
they're just
understand.
armor. They're
does
just like,
he just like pick them up by their feet and just swing them like baseball bats? Like, I don't understand.
That's funny.
I mean, that's pretty much it. There's not much going on with that. We just know he's been announced. Like, we have an Aquaman.
You know what?
And we have,
Every announcement they make about this Aquaman movie
is good.
is good. I'm liking it, and more I'm like, God damn! Next year, we could have a fucking awesome Aquaman movie and confirm that we are now in the Bizarro timeline.
Yes, where they can't get Superman right, but this Aquaman movie was the tits. Like,
Oh my God! Yeah.
Wait, okay, what do you guys think that's going to do for the name of because Aquaman's just nothing but a household joke at the moment, thanks to Super Friends and Robot Chicken and all
I don't
that
think
crap.
this movie will fix it, but I think it will do. It will be you'll get extreme jokes on both sides of the spectrum, and that'll be it. Like, it'll just create another joke meme for Aquaman.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think so. I think
They're
Aquaman will
already
be
using
solid
this.
now.
Yeah.
Also in the realms, The Rock is not playing Shazam. The Rock is playing Black Adam. Evil Shazam.
Right.
People just, that's who he was when I was growing up. Like, I'm like really anti Shazam. That's what we're doing. Like as a child, that's who I thought Black Adam was. Just like another Shazam that was bad. I'm like, so basically he's Negaduck. Thanks.
All right,
I mean-
yeah. So, go ahead, Rob.
No, it's fine, Benny. You've been interrupting me the whole fucking show. It's fun.
I'm just gonna hang up on you now.
Nope.
No, I was gonna say. So, I mean, that pretty much brings the podcast to a close today. Don't forget, if you want to chat with us after the show and between the shows, I don't think we'll be around there much after the show today, but we do talk in there between the shows. You can go to our Discord, and that is the link to that. That is the official Weekly Poll Discord. Me and Rob frequent in there. Sal doesn't even know it exists.
I am on there. I have a Comic Pop Discord, you jackass.
I'm such an old man. I've never used Discord.
It's going to be the new Skype unless Microsoft pays a shit ton of more money,
All right.
Yeah.
which Microsoft will probably do. But anyway,
Yeah.
so that's the Discord right there. We also, just in case you came in late, we were the winners of the podcast, Best Podcast from Bleeding Cool. So that was a big announcement at the beginning.
Thank you.
We do upload this to YouTube. It goes to Comic Pop and Comic TV. That's where it goes.
That's right.
And why don't you go ahead and close out the show by letting people who just joined us late about your comic that you have written and are getting published, Jason.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. My wife and I, we co-wrote a 5-issue comic book series. If you haven't heard, Jupiter Jet. It's on Kickstarter right now. We already hit our goal, but we could always use more. We got more stretch goals because we have a 5-page backup by somebody who has drawn on DC Rebirth The Flash. I can't say his name, and we're not going to announce it until we hit the stretch goal. So we need your help there. And for anybody that at the weekly poll that comes over and donates, JupiterJetComic.com, donate $5 or more. I'll send you a comic book from my personal collection with a note about why I sent it to you. And just make sure you tell me that you're from the weekly poll. But there's a girl with a jetpack, and she punches evil bald men in the face. You want to read it. It's awesome.
Awesome.
That sounds
I
awesome.
donated.
Super
I know
fun.
Rob and Sal did. It does look
did.
amazing. It's not just Jason didn't just come on here to get you guys to try and pitch into a comic. He's like, oh, it's a really crappy one, but I want your money. No, it's actually it looks amazing.
No.
It's got a great story.
Send me your money,
Okay,
man.
okay. Don't even deny that there are some shitty ass Kickstarters on there.
Oh, dude,
I
that's
will
terrible.
say,
Oh, yes. I mean, we designed our Kickstarter based a lot on like what we saw other people doing, and we were like, let's not do that.
Right,
Don't-
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, don't be the potato salad guy.
we'll probably do a minor Q&A on Discord, Mopey, but we'll do it through text. We have actually have a couple meetings after this. So,
Yes.
all right, guys, thank you for joining us for today's show. Don't forget to check us out on where does the thing get uploaded, Sal? Why don't you let them know?
it comes up on Comic Pop. Go to comicpop.net. Check out this show on usually between Thursday and Friday. And then it comes up again on the Weekly Poll official YouTube channel, which is on Comic TV. I think it's youtube.com/comicstoriantv or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. But I always leave a link to the channel in the description box below the video when it's uploaded on Comic Pop. So check it out.
All right, sounds good. We're also on iTunes. We're also on SoundCloud, guys, and this entire thing exists because of you. So thank you all. You've helped us make an incredible podcast that now wins awards. We can officially
Yeah, make sure you say it's award winning. You guys are
we're
be
now
proud
the
of that.
award-winning weekly poll. Thanks to you, not us. You guys made it that way. Discord link one last time. There it is, guys. All right.
Alan Scott.
And with that, we will Alan Scott out of here. Alan Scott.